Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel and welcome to those of you just joining for the first time. And thank you so much as always for your support for those who have been watching my vlogs and following me on this painful purpose journey. And I'm very thankful for all of you that watched the vlog takeover by my younger sister Rianne 2 weeks ago. I'm very thankful to her because I really needed a break, and if you haven't watched that vlog takeover, you need to check it out. It was a real blessing and it's linked in this video. But for this vlog, it's going to be a continuation of my testimony, my ongoing testimony. And I don't know the last time I did a part of my testimony. I've had so many videos in between. So if you haven't watched that one or you can't remember like I couldn't remember, I have linked it in this video. So please go and check it out. But I hope you guys will be blessed by this one. I'ma show you how I came out the dust. He had his way, and now this is my story. So after I had come back to London, after I'd been to Wolverhampton, it was a bit hard at times, and with everything hearing about my auntie passing away, it was hard. It was a bit hard for my family, especially my mum. It's her older sister. It was her older sister, so it was very hard for her. But I think after a while, as I said in the vlog, that this one is a continuation of it, God actually helped to kind of prepare me, I guess, for experiencing loss again because of my granddad. So I don't know how to explain it, but how I felt when granddad passed, it wasn't as strong, I guess. Not that it hurt any less, but it just wasn't as strong. I feel like I trusted God a lot more with it. So I went back to work. I didn't take any time off work or anything like that. I went back to work, and then like my boss was asking me how things were, how my weekend was away and everything, because she knew I was going to Wolverhampton. And I was telling her, then I said, yeah, I didn't really do much for my birthday because my auntie actually passed 2 days before my birthday, so we didn't really do anything for my birthday because no one really felt in the mood to do anything. It was really nice though. At work they bought like gifts and stuff for me, and we had something on the Wednesday, so my birthday was on the Monday, and we did something on the Wednesday. We had like cakes and stuff, so that was really nice. So everything like it was okay. It was as okay as it could be when you're facing loss. But as I always say, guys, like that's when it starts to go a bit rocky. That's when things start to happen again. So I was doing fine. I was in work and everything, and we were breaking up for the Christmas holiday. And then one of my cousins actually got really sick. Well, actually two of them, but I went to see one. So one came out of hospital and one was still in hospital. So me and my family went to go and see her. And they didn't really know what was wrong with her. I know she is quite sickly at times anyway, but we didn't really know what was wrong with her. And I remember we went into her hospital room, and at the time, so this was like December, no, was it December/January time, or just before January of 2020? She was in hospital, so we went in. We were wanted to check that she was okay and everything, and she was getting better. She was laughing and joking a bit more than she was before. And then I think it was a few minutes into like seeing her, she said, oh, by the way, because they didn't know what was actually wrong with her, by the way, they were saying something about you guys having to wear masks when you come to see me. And then we kind of thought nothing of it. We're like, yeah, well, that's what they just say. It's probably because like they don't know what's wrong with you and whatever. Then my family, and I did find it funny too, were like, oh, it's fine anyway. Probably the only one that will get sick is Chelsea, because if you guys have been with me on this journey, if there is someone to get something, it's always me. But I kind of didn't think anything of it, because for the next couple of days after we left the hospital to gone back home, I didn't actually feel bad. And then I remember I went in, so we went back to work on the 6th of January 2020. I think it was the 6th, I'm pretty sure it was the 6th of January. And when I went in, I said to my boss, my chest is really starting to hurt. My chest felt heavy, and my breathing and everything didn't feel like I didn't feel right. And she was like, oh, well, if you need to go home, you can go home. But I thought, no, it'll probably just pass over. Like, I'll probably just get in a chest cold or whatever. So I made it through the day. And then I remember the Monday night, I woke up and I was in excruciating pain. And I'm used to pain because of my stomach issues, but this pain was unbelievable, and I couldn't sleep. Like, it actually woke me out of my sleep. I remember it was like, you know, when you have a flu and your whole of your body starts to ache. But it was weird because it actually started in my legs first, and then it started to travel up my body, and that chest pain started to get really bad. So I remember my younger sister, so Rianne, and my older sister Keisha, they were downstairs, so I had to call them on my phone, and I said, please, can you get me a hot water bottle? It was the first thing I thought of. And then they brought me up paracetamol and a hot water bottle, but I still couldn't sleep, and I was actually crying in pain, and I didn't know why I was in so much pain. So because I had a rough night, I was like, okay, I'm not going to work the next day. So in the morning I messaged my boss and said I'm not going in. And I think I messaged my agency as well and said, yeah, I'm not going in. But my boss was like, we don't want any other agency stuff. We'll just wait till Chelsea comes back, maybe the next day. Because I was like, okay, it's probably just a 1 day thing. How wrong I was. And I don't know why I always believe that it's going to be something that just goes, because it never seems to be the case with me. So the whole of the Tuesday now, I was in pain. I didn't want to eat. I lost all sense of taste. I started having fevers. My chest was hurting. I was coughing. The coughing wasn't bad, but definitely the fevers and the not wanting to eat anything, because like my sense of smell and taste was gone. And I was just like, I don't know what's happening. And then my cousin at the time, by the way, that was in hospital, she had now fully recovered, so she was back at home. And then the next day I was like, okay, I'm still not feeling well. Then it came to about a week, and then, you know, you can have a self sign-in. Well, I don't know if you do know, but you can like self-sign yourself off work, and it's okay. You can still like, you're still okay for that time period. But after, I think it's 7 days straight, you have to get a doctor's note. So it just happened to coincide that I was supposed to have an appointment for my stomach. So I went to go and have an appointment for my stomach, and when she looked at me, she said, the doctor, I went with my mum, she said to me, are you okay? And I said, I really haven't been feeling well, and I've been feeling like kind of feverish. And then she took my temperature and she said, yeah, you actually have quite a high fever, like high temperature, and you don't look well. Like, I had gone, even though I thought it was kind of hard to see if I had gone pale, but she said, your face looks really pale as well, and you really don't look well. And my mum was like, yeah, I've been telling her that too, she really doesn't look well. So the doctor signed me off, and she was like, you know what, I'll sign you off for 2 weeks, but I know that if you're not feeling well, just say that you're not feeling well still, and I'll get a sick note for you, or a fit note for you to take time off. Because when people say that they have flu, it's usually like maybe a mild one, but you actually have flu. And then I was like, okay. So I just went home, and I was still shivering and stuff. And I kind of, as I said, after 2 weeks I thought, okay, it would be better. But after 2 weeks it started to creep into a month, and I still felt like the chest pain and stuff started to calm down, but kind of the aches and pains all over my body continued. And I was like, this, like, when I get sick, I do get sick badly, but when I've had flu before, I've never had, I guess, flu to this extent. And after like that kind of stuff started to calm down, and the aches in my upper body started to calm down, my legs started to swell. Like, my knees and my ankles started to swell so badly, to the point that I actually couldn't walk. So again, I had another appointment, and then when I was walking, I tried to walk into the doctor's room, and I was limping. And then she was like, the doctor, it was the same doctor I was meant to go for my stomach pains, and that's the reason why I had the appointment, was for my stomach pains, but it ended up being about my legs, because she's like, how come you can't walk? And I said, I don't know, after I had that flu, I can't walk properly on my ankles and my knees. So again, obviously I hadn't been back to work for this time. So she said to me, I think for the time being, if you can't walk properly, so that you're still able to get exercise, I think you need to be on crutches. So she said, if it's really that bad, go and get the crutches as soon as possible. So the same night, my dad drove me to the hospital and I went on crutches. But then they said to me, oh, like, how comes whatever? And they were asking questions and stuff. Then I said, I've been having pains in my chest and I sometimes breathing has been difficult for me too. So they just kind of wanted to do the whole check over, whole like make sure I'm okay. But I can't remember why, but I actually didn't end up going for a chest x-ray, I think it was, because they were busy or something. I can't actually remember. It was that this was around like January, February time. And I remembered, sorry, going back, that previously when I had like the flu kind of symptoms, I actually had been to the hospital and they were like, yeah, we'll just pass. And then that's fast forward, that's when I went to my doctor about the stomach pain and she said, no, you have flu. So when they were testing me for flu and stuff, it nothing came up and nothing came out of it because I had to keep going in and out of hospital for it because the pain was getting worse, the swelling was getting worse, and they're like, we don't really understand, we don't really know what's going on. And to this day, so it is now, we are now in 2021, and they said that it could be reactive arthritis. So that usually occurs when you've had an infection and kind of like the symptoms of arthritis, so the swelling and the joint pain. So they're like, oh, 6 months to a year max. That's when, well, from what I researched as well, is what people said usually reactive arthritis lasts for. But I can tell you that it is now 2021 and I am still in pain. I still have the swelling in my legs. And at the time when I'm recording this vlog, guys, like, I can't move my right leg properly at the moment. So even going up and down the stairs at home is really difficult. And that was what I was saying to you guys when I said about other pains. This is what I was talking about. It was the swelling in my legs. So I was going in and out of hospital, but they still didn't know what was wrong with me. And I still hadn't gone back to work. And then, as you know, then COVID came in. And now kind of thinking back to it, my mum kind of thought I had, well, my mum kind of thinks that I might have had COVID because even when I read like the list of symptoms and stuff for COVID, I had every single one of them, and I don't know, my body just blew them out of proportion, I guess, with all the joint pain and everything. So it was really hard, and it was a very trying time for me too because I had just started working. I was really happy about working and I never actually went back to that job for the whole time before lockdown happened in March 2020. I never actually got to go back to work, and it was really hard, and I was really like annoyed. And I don't know if I was per se annoyed with God, but I think I was at the time. And I was like, God, why again? Like, every time something seems to be going so well, something else is thrown back at me. And I know it's not God that does it. God can't do bad, but God can allow things to happen. So I was like, God, I don't know why you would allow this. I have a job and I actually really like it at the moment. But because of the swelling in my legs, like, I'm a lab technician, there was no way I could be going up and down all the time. And then now, at that time, I was on crutches too. But even though it was hard, I kind of tried to not, I don't know, like, people say that I'm so strong, but I can honestly say that I'm not strong whatsoever. And there have been times, even now with the whole leg pain, that I actually like cry so much. I'm so frustrated because there's so many things that I feel like I'm missing out on, just like with the stomach pains, and it just feels like a repeat. As I started to get used to the stomach pains and they kind of put them on the back burner, the leg pain started that year in 2020, and I just felt really irritated and annoyed about the whole thing. But the thing that really got me through and kind of gets me through too is actually the hope that was found in God and in what Jesus has done. Because I know that, yes, I may be in pain now, but the pain isn't going to last forever. I know that God is still faithful to me. God is still looking out for me. And it was that thought that kind of made me think of this verse taken from Hebrews 10 verse 23. And it says, "Let us hold fast the confession of our hope without wavering, for he who promised is faithful." And I want to encourage you all with this, because there are going to be difficulties. There have been difficulties for all of us, and sometimes it can be so hard to hold on to faith and to be hopeful in things, because things are always changing. Sometimes we put our hope in our family members, sometimes in friends, and then we end up falling out with family members, end up falling out with friends. They let us down in it can be unintentional or intentionally sometimes, as I've said in a previous vlog. But the one hope that we can the one person that we can have hope in is God, because he is faithful. He never changes, and he will continue to be faithful even when we're not faithful. And because of that, that is where our hope should be rooted in, and our faith should be rooted in him. And even when, like for me, I didn't understand why everything would go good, or well I should say, and then for it to just crash like that, for my stomach pains to be something that I was dealing with quite well, I would say, and then for this to happen again. And I did feel frustrated, and I'm not going to say that it's easy to continue to have that hope, but trust me, it's the best thing to do, is to have hope in God, because things can be good in one breath and then in the next it could go terribly wrong. It's a sad reality, but it is reality. But that's the reason why we need to have our hope in something greater, in someone greater. And that is what I want to encourage you with, all of you, because of what he has done. We have the hope that one day, if you're like me and you're suffering with pain, that pain will be gone. If you're suffering with loss and the pain of loss, one day that will be gone. Death will be swallowed up, as it says in his word. And anything else, any other problems, situations that you may be going through, family issues, issues with friends, issues with mental health, emotional health, even spiritual things, we have the hope in God, because God is faithful no matter what. He is faithful no matter what. I just have to repeat that just in case you missed it. God is faithful no matter what. And that is the hope that I kind of want to give to you all in this vlog. Times are difficult, but God is always good and he is always faithful. So just trust God, have hope in him, because God is faithful no matter what. I hope you guys, as I said, were blessed and encouraged by this vlog. And please don't forget to join me for the next vlog in 2 weeks' time. For now, bye.